Japan seems to be obsessed with robots and AI. Why is that? And how will this tech impact our future? I took a plane to find out more. Imagine you're being told you need some kind of life-saving procedure, like removing cancer, for example. And then imagine your best chances are with a surgical robot. Experts predict that robots are the future of medicine. Surgical robotic helpers are indeed becoming more and more commonplace. But will they replace surgeons one day? Sensationalist headlines like these clearly suggest so. Will that be day-to-day business in surgeries? And might that even be a good thing? That's what I wanted to find out. Why do we need surgical robots? What if they make a mistake? And could they really replace human surgeons one day? Fun fact. This is Da Vinci, the market leader when it comes to robotic-assisted surgery. In 2018, more than 1 million procedures were performed with the system. More on Da Vinci later. I had the chance to look at another surgical system in Tokyo. Let's see if that gave me a better understanding of robot surgeons. And here's the man who made it possible.
My name is Kenji Kawashima. I founded a startup venture named Riverfield, and we are now developing a surgical robot.
Sounds very humble, but in fact, his company Riverfield collected more than $10 million for developing their system EMARO in 2017. We'll get back to that in a second. But first, why do we need surgical robots?
The robot have lots of benefits, not only for the patient, but also the surgeon. For the patient, hospital stay will become shorter, recovery becomes faster. It is already been proven in many journal papers.
The reason for this? Using a robot makes certain types of surgeries much less invasive. Cutting open a bigger surface in order to get to a certain spot inside the body, that is the standard procedure. With a surgical robot, you only need a fixed point of entry from which the surgical instruments can be maneuvered to the desired area. And, put simply, less cutting means a faster recovery.
And also for the doctors, they can do the surgery by sitting in a chair. So fatigue can be minimized by using the robot.
Complicated surgeries take hours, so reducing the chance of the doctor getting exhausted can indeed be crucial. But back to the EMARO. What makes it special is its new and intuitive user interface. It is supposed to make surgery safer and much easier for the surgeon. So easy, in fact, that even I, a complete newbie to performing medical procedures, could operate the system. I'm very, very excited because they really let me try to be a doctor now. Let's see how this works. Let's go. A surgeon always needs a very clear picture of the area he's working in. In most setups similar to this one, an assistant is controlling a camera for that purpose, following the surgeon's commands. With EMARO, the surgeon steers the camera by himself, using the head. Okay. Okay, I see. In order to move the camera, you simply step on a pedal to activate it. Up, down, left, and right. Oh, that's easy. Once you have a clear overview of the situation, you can use the system's two arms to perform the job. I did it. I'm a doctor now. I'm kidding, of course. Removing a triangle from a bolt is one thing, but extracting lung tissue, for example, is on a whole different level. Extracting tissue is actually one of the main fields the EMARO was designed for, and there is a high need for these tasks in Japan. The country has a so-called super-aging society, with consequences for the health sector.
Use of a surgical robot to become much more important in Japan because the aging society is coming and the rate of cancer become increasing. So these robots are mainly for cancer treatments. We believe the importance of surgical robots to become higher.
So there definitely is a demand for EMARO. And there's another simple reason for Kawashima's bet on the system. It will only cost a fraction of the competitors. The Da Vinci system, for example, comes with a $2 million price tag. Da Vinci was the first surgical robot to get an approval by the US Food and Drug Administration in 2000. It is widely regarded as the first of its kind. Da Vinci's 4 arms are steered with a console, making a wide variety of clinical procedures possible while being less invasive than traditional surgery. But the system is also being criticized. Intuitive, the company behind Da Vinci, has faced numerous lawsuits that investigated possible system failures with severe consequences. So, if a surgical robot makes a mistake, what happens then? And how can you know if the system failed or if it was human error?
Oh, that's a very important issue, but a little bit difficult to answer. All the robot data are recorded, so we can examine, evaluate if it is wrong of the operator or the robot. We can distinguish it.
The idea of a system failure scares me more than a fatal error by the surgeon, even though I know that statistically, robotic surgery is much safer. How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments. In fact, surgical robots are supposed to add an extra layer of safety.
There are lots of safety things implemented in the surgical robot. If the robot feels something wrong, because there are lots of sensors implemented in the robots, they suddenly move to the such a security mode. We have many security issues are implemented, and if we feel something strange, the robot will stop. We believe the safety of the robot has been guaranteed.
But apart from more safety, surgical robots could also make remote surgeries possible in the near future. That means a heart surgeon in India, who is specialized in a certain surgical procedure, could help a patient in Africa without having to fly there. Systems like that require ultrafast 5G networks, because there obviously can't be any lag between the 2 computers in Africa and India. Riverfield is also working on a prototype for remote surgery. And guess what? I got to try that one out as well. To give the surgeon an even better overview of the area he is working in, the system is showing 3D images. That's why I'm wearing these glasses. The controllers give haptic responses.
I really get a haptic feedback when I touch that sponge here. It's a little bit like with a PlayStation controller, to be honest.
While I managed to move the machine's 2 arms a little bit, I have to admit it was rather difficult. To activate different functions, you have to step on one of 3 pedals.
Now I would do some damage. Okay, that would do some damage now. That's really amazing. But it's actually on a whole different level compared to the other machine. I'm afraid I have to say I won't be a doctor.
But in my defense, surgeons will have to do many hours of training before they operate the system. They will have to do their first real surgeries under supervision of another doctor who is already experienced in operating the machine. Surgical robots like this one can even perform certain movements automatically, a little bit like an autopilot on a plane. With all this progress, will robots replace surgeons one day?
I don't think so. In a car, automation, automatic drive will become a very hot topic. However, consider a patient, the size inside totally different between the person. Therefore, it is not easy to make totally autonomous with medical robots. However, some part of the surgery, for example, doing suturing or doing some separation, might be changed to autonomous control. Now it's a very hot topic in academic field to doing research on such autonomous control.
So robots definitely will change the medical landscape, but they won't completely replace doctors. So no need to panic. What about you? Do you think robots should help save lives? Let us know in the comments.